The huge global ticket sales for The Dark Knight represented one of the film industry's headline stories of the summer. Perhaps less conspicuous, but arguably just as significant, was the major popularity of Iron Man, a much less high-profile character outside the world of comic book fans. And behind the impact of both films is the battle between the companies which first published these heroes' exploits. DC Comics, which as well as Batman is also home to the likes of Superman, Wonder Woman and the Green Lantern, and Marvel, the stable behind Spider-Man, The Incredible Hulk, Captain America and Thor, among others. Marvel are now taking movies very seriously. They're setting up their own studios in LA, enjoy full editorial and financial control of their pictures, and have at least 4 movies going into production over the next 2 years, with a total budget of $600 million. World domination beckons, but surely their rivals at DC won't stand by and let that happen. As an unashamed geek, I'm delighted that comic book mania is increasing all the time. But filmmakers should proceed with caution when transporting superheroes from page to screen, because we die-hard fans know what we want.
Try not to differ from the original storyline.
It's being true to the character that really counts.
As long as they kind of sort of follow the storyline, as long as they don't go completely astray with it.
Understand why it worked the first time. If you do that, then you'll make the right decisions.
And also the costume, you can't forget the costume.
Definitely.
Yes.
So when comic giant Marvel transformed itself from mild-mannered publishing company into a movie-making machine with Iron Man, its first fully self-financed production, the fans couldn't have been happier.
Oh, Iron Man it's my favorite comic book film to date. Oh, it was amazing.
I think the decision for Marvel to bankroll their movies and make their own creative decisions, we're gonna look back on it as one of the turning points for them as a company.
The wonderful thing about working with Marvel is that they're the greatest caretakers of their own characters.
Now she'll see.
They're now able to create a sandbox where all their characters can play. Where you see Robert Downey Jr. show up at the end of the Hulk, or you see Sam Jackson at the end of Iron Man, it just hints at something larger.
Knock on wood, we might get to do a couple more of these, you know. It's a really exciting time for all of us.
Of course, Robert Downey Jr. wasn't the only masked man putting a rocket up the summer's box office. But while Warner Brothers and their subsidiary DC Comics had enormous success with The Dark Knight, many fans suspect trouble back at the Batcave.
Well, I think that DC, with The Dark Knight, of course. But the next question is what they're going to do now, because the last Superman was a flop.
Well, you're back, and everyone seems to be pretty happy about it.
Not everyone.
If you can't make a Superman movie to compete in this marketplace right now, you don't know what you're doing. It's Superman. He punches things. He's Superman, for God's sakes. So far, they have shown a propensity to mismanage their materials. I think DC knows that they got to turn the boat around. Their priority right now is to get Nolan back on board for a 3rd Batman. That's priority 1. Priority 2 is get Superman back on screen the right way.
But in the meantime, Marvel are charging ahead with an awesome superhero slate. They already have release dates scheduled for Iron Man 2, Ant-Man, directed by geek guru Edgar Wright, and Thor, with our very own Kenneth Branagh behind the camera. All building up to 2011, when all these characters and more will assemble in one almighty Avengers movie.
I gotta say, if they pull off the vision that they have of having Captain America and the Avengers come out in 1 year, I think the Avengers could break every record there is for opening weekend. I think that the anticipation will be gigantic. And we've never seen a film like that. We've never seen anything that scale.
So how will Marvel's arch rival fight back against such cinematic superpower?
I think DC is going to look at their roster of characters and think, why aren't we making a Flash movie? Why aren't we making a Green Arrow movie? And the people I've talked to there now say that they're going to try to do just that.
But the Justice League, DC's own Cape Crusader conglomerate, which unites Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman and The Flash, among others, remains in development hell.
And that project's been on the shelf so many times. If they do pull it off, it could go either way. It'll either be the biggest thing, or it could be the biggest disaster.
Though DC may need to work out what to do with its superhero stable, the company's still got 1 or 2 tricks up its sleeve. Most obviously, director Zack Snyder's Watchmen, due in March.
Well, next March is Geek Christmas. We're getting Watchmen, and I think we're getting it right. If Snyder pulls off 1/3 of what he's trying to, I think it's going to be a really unique sort of landmark, and it will change the way we make these movies afterwards.
Yes, the gloves are coming off, and if Marvel and DC remain locked in superheroic combat, the guaranteed winners are fantasy film fans.